It's your boy from the back, another one. Yo, Joe Budden basically went off on Drake and UMG. He basically had a whole bunch of good points about basically Drake used to be number one, first of all. Drake used to be the one that UMG did all the work for. UMG was pushing, suppressed every other artist for years. Once they realized that, hey, this guy numbers really it was not doing good before this Kendrick beef. It was nowhere near Nothing Was the Same, Thank Me Later, Take Care. It was not. Honestly, never mind. Her Laws for All the Dogs are not good albums to me personally. When you have a song or a lyric where you're saying, girl, you're one of the guys, I feel like I'm bi, or something along the lines like that, you're done. You're done. All right? All that creativity, all that. Drake is a bad gambler. So, of course, he would gamble bad with his career, and it's not hate when you're telling factual information. A lot of us were fans of him when he made the best nostalgic albums. It's not like that no more. So let's get to what Joe Budden had to say.
2% of artists that could even have the thought. Stop with this shit.
No, but that's his point. His point is the rank and file artist is getting fucked because they keep crowning one person who takes all the energy out the room. If we stop that process, now Joe Schmo can get a chance. That's his whole point. Is that
But he never gave a fuck about that beforehand.
No. It's totally disingenuous. It's totally disingenuous.
And it's cap. And it's cap.
But I'm saying, but that's his argument, is that this
Joe
can now help
Schmo
everybody.
has a chance because Joe Schmo did what he didn't, which is, I'm independent. I'm not going to just voluntarily relinquish my rights because you're dangling cars and front row seats in front of me. Joe Schmo has a chance already. That's why he lost the leverage. He was supposed to be the leader of the new school. Shout out to Busta Rhymes. He was supposed to be the person to, on a much smaller level again, not to talk about me. When I go in these places, there is no threat that Joe Budden can cause the people that I'm talking to. Not a one. Me, like by myself, like in all of my powers. They don't give a fuck about nothing I'm talking about until I say, you know the whole wave of fucking creators out there listen to me and follow me. I got proof, but like you can't, when I say something or do something, there's millions of people that's watching me and is about to try and emulate the same thing. That's the only time they get scared. There's nothing that you can do yourself. So Drake was supposed to be the leader of that and say, I have hundreds and millions of people that's going to do and go as I say when that was at its peak. Who cares now?
You know what? And he might have went in there and said that and said, being that I got this, I want 400 million.
Well, he was due to 400 million based off his own.
I'm just saying
name.
that at that point,
based off
that
his own
might have been what
name.
I'm fighting for.
Oh,
and now I learn more, and it's shit.
Then he sold everybody short.
Or no.
Then he sold everybody short.
Yo, y'all know I got the ear of, yo, bro, adversity. We are keep missing that. He might not have ever had to have that stance.
Now, before I keep it playing, just remember, Drake never grew up with no plight, no strife, none of that. So when it comes to losing like this, he never faced this type of adversity ever. He grew up with not a silver spoon, a gold spoon. His uncle paid for Trey Songz's feature. His grandmother paid for everything in his career. He never started from the bottom ever. Like literally ever. The person that's listening to this video most likely had a way more struggle than Drake. Even if you grew up with two parents and a golden spoon in your mouth, you still had more struggle because you probably felt hungry for 2 seconds, then went to go make something to eat. Those 2 seconds, Drake never felt those 2 seconds. Let me know what y'all think. Let's keep going. Let's go back.
With the labels before. He may have never had to have that stance. When you go home after getting the door shut in your face, now you go home and ponder on how to get around the door, or your brain goes to plan B mode.
First door.
Well,
this might be his first plan B chance ever.
Maybe instead of running around and buying Pusha T's first microphone and Pharrell's chain,
And
Michael
Tupac's.
Jackson looked Paul McCartney in the face and said, "How much is your publishing?" What the fuck are you niggas talking
He
about?
said that too. If your pub was up for sale, I buy the whole thing. He got to that point.
I know, on a record.
He got to that point.
I know, on a record. What he did in real life was go buy a van that looked like it was on Good Kid, Mad City. You at the big boy poker table now. You know how you walking into the wind, when you walking down that little hallway in the wind with the coffee shop and the bars on the corner, to the left is little slot machines. To the right, you can see him if the shit ain't closed. You can see him. is the big boys.
The high
But
roller
aren't we
room.
complicit?
You need 5 million plus, 10 million plus to be allowed over here. So again, negligence, naivete on his part, because if you're aware of your opponents, then yeah, I'm trying to go buy Futures Publishing. I'm trying to go buy 21 Savage's publishing. I'm trying to go buy something that makes my conversation when I walk in this office with Lucien or whoever go a little bit different. They don't care about nothing that he built his house on, which is, I got all the hits, I got the #1s, I have the run, my album. Yo, we made that. And your best music, we gonna run that up. Go make your mid. Go make your mid. We gonna put all them albums that we own, your fire shit, that same little algorithm trick you think we doing, we still doing it.
Deluxe.
Yeah,
5-year anniversary,
we got
10-year
you.
anniversary,
Hey, have a
20-year
blast
anniversary.
with whatever Honestly Nevermind did. Have fun with that. The label must ain't been too thrilled because that shit came and went too. At some point, you gotta have something that stay, and they not gonna let nothing stay. What do you think is gonna happen with the Drake Party Next Door album now that he's got these suits out?
Brick. Cricket.
That's what I mean about him. That's what I mean about him.
That he
Party
doesn't-
somewhere thinking that this is the best opportunity that ever happened to me. Wow, thank God this is happening. Nigga, that should have happened in 2014 right after, if you reading this, it's too late. Right after that, that's when that should have happened. Now, it's too late, and you only doing it, again, for your selfish, greedy fucking reasons. That ain't about to help him. That's about to hurt him. Now it's about to get to a point, anybody that stand with Drake, the high-ups is just looking. Stand there if you want. It's over. They sending a clear-cut message. Yo, it's over. And Drake knows it, so I'm not arguing with nobody now. These suits say he knows what time it is.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Yeah.
So he's just going out snitching, basically.
Over the past several months, Drake has repeatedly sought to
That's what it
engage
looks like.
UMG in discussions to resolve the ongoing harm he has suffered as a result of UMG's actions. They have refused to engage in negotiations and insisted that UMG is not responsible for its own actions. Instead, they pointed the finger at Mr. Duckworth, a.k.a. Kendrick, insisted that Drake should initiate legal action against him rather than UMG, and even threatened to bring its own legal claims against Mr. Duckworth if Drake were to pursue claims against UMG.
Newsflash, that's what he wanted to do anyway. But he can't.
You can't do that.
But if y'all think the Karen in him don't want to sue Kendrick himself
But isn't that the purpose of this?
directly,
Yeah.
then I don't know what game you're looking at.
If he had sued,
I don't care if they said, hey, go sue him. Guess what? That's jargon to you now. For me, that says even they lying to you different than they normally would. They're not going to jump on that suit if Drake sues Kendrick. They've anointed Kendrick. You are going to take us to the next stratosphere. We're not jeopardizing that. It's the field versus you. It's over for you. They're just saying it's over for you.
if it's the thing for me is when it's over for you, you can go out a couple ways. You can just fade into black. You can just have a good career, or you can go
go
out
in a blaze of fucking glory.
Exactly, which
Or
is
you
what
could do duck
this
lips
might
and
be.
go grab barrettes and do a bunch of funny hairstyles and fucking be seen with the white boy. I don't want to hear all of this shit. The nigga looks stupid now.
Does this lawsuit, because from what I could hear in social media and in other media circles, people aren't making a distinction between him suing Kendrick and him suing the record label. People are like, yo, he's suing Kendrick, he's going out like a
No,
sucker.
Kendrick is not involved.
you a bitch
His
no
name's
matter
not
what.
listed.
No,
in
I
the
know, but I'm
suit.
saying
Yeah.
people are hearing it like all the jokes, all the stuff,
Yeah.
is still like he's suing Kendrick.
Yeah.
Well, stopped it.
Right. Does this ruin his, I mean,
Yes.
what does this do for his legacy?
This hurts. This hurts.
Hurts it
Yes.
badly.
No matter how you look at it, this
Yes.
hurts.
This is the biggest L I've ever
But-
seen in fucking history.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
That's
no,
what
but
I'm
look,
saying. This
but
is
look.
pretty bad.
like
But look,
athletic
on the-
history, like this is worse than Atlanta and the
On the flip side of
Patriots.
that,
But wait,
being called a pedophile hurt my fucking legacy. So I gotta fight it.
See, I even think that's a scapegoat. I think that's something.
Yo, y'all are
you
crazy.
gotta
as hell.
fight
No. I think it did, but being able to hang your hat on it as for it being the cause of
Right.
all of your shit going awry is cap.
think it's delusion.
It's played a huge part,
Oh, yeah,
but
yeah.
your missteps got us here, and this
Yes.
is the culmination of it.
Your missteps are what got us here. I agree with that.
But he
Niggas on the internet talking about this is the biggest L since this bigger fall off. than Ja Rule, which I think is a total slap in the face to Ja Rule. I think the audience owes Ja Rule an apology. Ja Rule was never doing this.
No.
Ja Rule was never playing this game. If you're saying that, you're not understanding the game that's being played. This fall off is monumental. Odell ain't called that nigga in years. That really is over now, that relationship. Odell is out. He got his ring. He's not talking to you anymore. And I feel Drake, yo.
How you feeling, but then you kicking his back in?
No, I'm not kicking his back in. I'm telling the truth.
No, well, the truth is...
For 10 years on this podcast in February, I've had to sit here tight-lipped because everybody's stupid. No, I'm not doing that anymore. But I don't need YouTube. I don't need hot takes. I'm one of the few people that could look at this and just know what time it is. Play with them. Don't play with me. I feel Drake because he has fair and valid points in some of this shit, yo. I've showed up for too many of y'all. That DeMar DeRozan shit is still in effect. Yo, you was in my house. I talked you out of depression. Future, Thug, Weekend. Nigga, I found you on the fucking street, you piece of shit. But he looking at niggas like I look at Bleep. He done helped too many people. So now he's watching Since Not Like Us or Bot Like Us, whatever you want to call it. Since that, I'm seeing the tides turn in ways from places that I never expected it to. And it's up for all of you. It's up for all of you. And I'm with that willfulness and that conviction and that determination. I'm with all of that. I just don't think that he wins it because of the timing of this. But back to that whole facade about fucking, this is for the betterment of musicians everywhere. That's bullshit. Most musicians, even if they're at the top of their game, don't have enough money to do this with the people they need to do it to. 1. 2, even if they have enough money, they know that if they do that, their career is effectively over. So people are not rushing to do that. I applaud Drake because, to me, this move comes off as, for lack of a better term, like bomber.
Kamikaze, for sure.
Kamikaze.
Yeah, you gotta say that other word.
Yeah, right there. Bleep that. I don't know if we can use. This is like the end of Lioness on that mission they went on. On that mission they went on, when George, the nigga was like, how did that guy now go? Boom! And it's over. I think he know it's over.
It's a good ending, though.
Oh, man. Yo, they're killing the cliffhangers. They're killing the cliffhangers going into the next episode. But I think he knows it's over for him, and on the way out, I'm trying to take a few of y'all down with me, and hopefully the after effects of that could help somebody.
But it also gives him a better narrative. So now that he can say Kendrick didn't end my career. I went against the boss of all bosses for the people, and they took me down, and that's why my career is over. I mean, that's a much better ending. Now you can go down as a martyr as opposed to a nigga that got bodied in a battle so bad.
That got treated unfairly.
Right.
Yeah,
it was the industry versus me.
But right. It's not a bad ending if you want, especially if you're delusional.
It's not a bad ending if he's writing it and that's it. But he has to battle the optics of this in hip hop. Yeah. And that is, you a bitch.
And I think that was a miscalculation. I think he thought suing Universal, nobody would give a fuck. But the way that shit tried it out and played out, it looked like he's suing Kendrick.
But not his peers. I mean,
I don't think that works for him because
the peers,
again, you benefited from this. So it looks like just optic wise, like, hey man, I was all right when that was working for me.
Right.
Now it's working against me, and we have to destroy all of this shit. We can't be having this. This is now you want to go to your moral high horse.
Right.
But that's where people looking at it like
Meek has came out and said, Meek has came out and said some comments. I mean, people are commenting. I mean, I think it's only
what Meek say.
What are they saying?
Sorry.
Oh Lord.
No, did he say like Drake did the same thing against him?
No, Meek said that.
That's who got a case.
Because I think, that's what I think is different.
Meek got a case.
He said, Meek does have a case.
He said, but Meek be tripping, yeah, all right, like that. That's what he said. But Meek be tripping,
like,
yeah.
if you saying that,
right?
Because
he was saying the same shit.
If you saying Drake benefited from the labels pushing your album, that's different than saying that they push somebody's album against me.
Right.
Like Meek could say, yo, if that happened to Meek and they said, yo, when I was putting out shit against Drake, it was being suppressed, or that's something totally different than, yo, they push my album to get album sales and to make me #1. It's a totally different ballgame.
What I'm saying is that I think only the fans and the people online, they are the one that's laughing at Drake, but the people that have experienced issues with labels, I think they may support him. It's just the fans and the people, the everyday people that doesn't. Oh, nigga, you lost, not like us. Da 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 da. But the people, like look what Meek said, and other people may support.
Meek also said, "I went indie, and my last 2 show offers were in Finland and Portugal. Big festival shows, but nothing after. I sold out the Garden and went indie after Expensive Pain. The media made it look like I fell off terribly after. Expensive Pain is close to platinum." So basically, what he's saying is, once I stopped playing the game,
they disappeared me.
So you have to be willing to play a different game.
Correct.
Right?
Everybody's
like Drake should have known or been advised that, yeah, you may take a step back in terms of sales and branding and yada, yada, yada. But when you see that back end money from you hitting upload as a strictly independent, it will make up for it. And with a lot less of the ask.
Now, Joe Budden hit a whole bunch of good points. Drake, your time is up. Your time is up. It's ended. You know what I'm saying? That's why I had to play the clip as long as I did, because I usually don't do that. But the stuff that Joe was saying is almost like perfection. And not perfection because y'all might perceive it as hate. Perfection because you're getting to hear a lot of behind-the-scenes scoop and what really goes on behind the scenes as labels. You guys don't understand. When you have someone that's in the field like a basketball player, an NBA player, giving you what's going on or the sauce, right? Like a podcast, NBA podcast, you're most likely going to get better stuff than you would from someone like a Stephen A or someone like a Skip Bayless who's never touched the floor in a basketball court, who's never, you know what I'm saying? This is what I'm talking about. So since Joe been in a role where he's had to talk to labels and had to play the role of an artist, talking to a label and all that stuff like that, he knows the stuff that they're doing. He knows the tactics as well. And Drake knows that his time is up. It's over. But this is the last thing that he could do before he go out, is try to implode the whole entire industry. Everything that they worked for him for, he want to destroy it because now they're working for someone else the same way. Mustard, the way everybody's screaming at all of the biggest platforms in the world, they're doing that because it's the most relevant song. It's the most powerful beat in the beginning. It was powerful as hell, not like us when he was like looking for the broccoli, right? This is what I'm talking about when it comes to that energy. The label said, "I'm done with you, Drake." All right? UMG, Lucian Granger, his rich baby daddy. Kanye West been telling us this for months, for years, that Drake has a rich baby daddy who spoils him, who lets him do whatever he wants to do. Now all of a sudden you want to sue that dude because he's promoting someone else now? That sounds like a spoiled brat, right? Remember how I told you how he's a spoiled brat? Well, think about this. He's also an only child. So he's not used to sharing the limelight. He's not used to having to fight for something or fighting for food because your big brother about to come and eat that shit. So Kendrick Lamar right now, he's the big dog. He came and ate all his food. And Drake was the runt. He ain't go there and fight for nothing because he's used to the food coming to him. This is all metaphors about this whole entire situation. Now he want to sign a petition so that this whole entire song, Not Like Us, don't get played at the Super Bowl, right? So that's his way of basically getting back. But he doesn't realize that he's uncultured, or he doesn't realize how much fans he's about to lose even more, because this isn't the right thing to do at all. No rappers sue labels all the time, right? Rappers petition labels all the time. But when it comes to now conspiracy, now you're saying that they're out to get you? They're trying to stop you? No. Kendrick Lamar doesn't like you. He made music, they amplified it like they're supposed to. The only thing I don't like about Kendrick is that he pretended to be independent whole time you were under UMG. UMG 8. It don't matter whose side wins. UMG wins all the time. That's the worst part about it. It's not independent versus machine. It's machine versus machine. So if you're saying that Kendrick is a machine, that means you're the biggest machine of all time as a rapper. 10 years, 15 years, whatever, dominant as number one. Nobody even challenged you for your spot. There was no question about the labels doing this, labels botting, and none of that stuff about your career ever. But when you actually look at your numbers, it kind of do look botted. Especially right now. Nobody's listening to you. I know I'm not listening to you at all. So when it comes to these numbers and stuff like that, all of the stuff, success that you're getting right now or have been getting or sustained is from your nostalgic albums. Take Care, Thank Me Later. Nothing Was the Same. Those albums didn't just come and went. Those albums stayed for a long time. That's the difference between Honestly Nevermind, Her Laws, For All the Dogs, which is a trash trilogy of just albums. And now you're going to push Party Next Door like Joe Budden said. They should have did that in 2014, 2015. Doing it now is so outdated and so obvious that you're trying to use him as a clutch. You can't drop a solo album because if you drop a solo album, you're scared of what the numbers is going to do, Drake. Drake is a bad gambler. Very, very, very bad gambler. Some people are like average gamblers and they're better than him. So because he's a bad gambler, he gambled with his career. And now he want to use the tour leverage, but there's no leverage on that tour because you had J. Cole, 21 Savage. Every major artist was on that tour. It was not just a solo Drake tour like Beyonce and Nicki Minaj or they do. They might bring a few guests here and there, but it's mainly them solo tours. You can't be like, oh, I made 400. You made 400 because J. Cole fan base was all money, bro. So the labels know this type of stuff. He's a bad gambler, and he's obvious, too. He's not smart either, so he can't outsmart UMG. And I usually always go against the label. But in this situation, I'm not going against it because Drake isn't a plight rapper. He didn't start from no bottom. He didn't have no plight. He came in, UMG fed him, and was like, you're our number one, we're going to prop you up, and we're going to use you. And that's what he's mad at that they're doing to Kendrick Lamar, because they moved on. It's like a scorned ex. He's just mad that they moved on. He thought that they were going to be there forever, that they were going to be loyal to him because of everything he was doing. But no, they're not. You keep going off, hey, you want to leave? Go leave. We got your best products. Drake does not deserve we got to go, it's always artist versus label. We got to go with the artist. No, Drake doesn't get that benefit because he benefited from them for 15 years, 10 years plus. They promoted his stuff like crazy. Even when If You're Reading This Too Late drop, we didn't know about it. It was pushed in front of our faces. It was in front of every Spotify homepage, Apple Music homepage. It was everywhere in the homepage. It was pushed. That's why it looked like it looks like he has so many major hits because he's been pushed by the biggest machine. That's what Megan Thee Stallion was rapping about on the song Her. Y'all cosplaying gangsters. You're not a real gangster, bro. But UMG propped all of this stuff up because they had to fulfill anything that you wanted to do because they wanted to make sure they get their get back when it comes to money. But it was like, ooh, he's dropping off. Ooh. Honestly, never mind. That was a tough hit on our pockets, Drake. You can't do this again. You better find something else to do. He comes back, 21 Savage. Drake, I mean, that sounds like a 21 Savage album. It don't sound like a Drake album. Then he comes back, boom, For All the Dogs. I mean, the only good song or the only popular song was First Person Shooter. I mean, the rest of it just kind of came and went, right? No. Now the Kendrick versus Drake push-ups comes out, and now he's begging this dude to drop. Then after that, it was classic history what he did. But let me know what y'all think, because to me, stupidest battle, the stupidest things that ever happened, and the way it ended, or the way it's ending, is disgusting, and it just shows that Drake is a sore loser. Let me know what y'all think in the comments below. It's been Boy from me doing back another one. Peace.